I'm sat here with Adam Barnes. He falls into my my small time pool of drummers purely because he does work with a lot of the North East top bands and he's part of the clique of drummers that always get phone calls to help people out. So he's clearly good at what he does. Right, so Adam,
yes.
What is the most important part of drumming as a whole? Just a very vague opening question.
Wow. I've got about 10 answers because I've been thinking about this. So, I mean, obviously, skill comes into it massively. It helps that if you're a good player who's learned well and practices craft well as well. I've been playing for a long time and I found that playing with people massively helps. Yeah, you get a lot of bedroom drummers who are maybe amazing technically. As soon as they go into a band, it's just all very different.
Yeah.
They might have been playing with click in the bedroom, doing rudiments, all that kind of stuff. But if you want to be a band drummer, it really helps to regularly play with other musicians and really gig as much as possible.
Yeah.
There are some very, very fine recording drummers out there who do an amazing job, but I think if you want to be a gigging drummer, I generally advise that play as much as possible with different musicians if you can do as well. Rhythm section is obviously the key part of any band really. That's not just being biased, but I think playing as much as possible really helps, and it just helps you get better all the time as well. And people will tell you if you've got a good band, they'll say, "We didn't like the way you did that. Can you do it this way, which might be better for the song?" Or something like that, whether that's I'm speeding up and slowing down, dynamics are not quite right, or something like that. So skill and experience is important. I think attitude is really the key thing for me. I've experienced people with great attitudes, people with very poor attitudes as well. And I think having a great attitude in terms of how you come across, how you commit yourself, your communication, with other bandmates, I think that's really key for anyone. And I've read a lot of great articles about drummers who say exactly the same thing: attitude. If you've got a poor attitude, you won't get anywhere.
Yeah, great. Yeah, pretty very, very valid points. Out of all those, which do you think is the most important to you?
Okay, I'm going to stick with attitude because I know I've got my limitations in terms of skill. I'm a good drummer, but I'm not as good as other guys around here. Like, for example, what you bring to a band or what Gary Brook brings to a band or someone like that, you can do things in a much better way than I could. I watch you play and think, like, I'm mega impressed. I watch Gary Brook do something, I'm like, oh my god.
How's he doing that?
How's he doing that, yeah. But really, even if I was a really great drummer but had a poor attitude, that wouldn't get me anywhere.
Yeah.
Along with attitude does come commitment as well. If you want to be really good at what you do, you need to have the commitment. And if you've got a full-time job, like many of us small-time guys do, then you've got to make the extra time away from your own personal life, from your family, to put the time in to be good at what you do as well. And it could be practicing at home, gigging at weekends, whatever it may be. And having the right attitude to have that commitment just puts anyone in a great position to succeed. Because I think if you've got foundations right, good attitude, good level of commitment, good skill level, then really the world's your oyster.
Yeah, perfect. So, kind of going hand in hand with that, so do you think there's a formula to securing regular paid work as a drummer?
Yeah, being good at what you do, of course, really helps. Being seen is a massive thing. I mean, we play in a lot of pubs, clubs, do festivals, like all of us local drummers around here. If you've seen that other musicians will think, oh, actually, our drummer can't do a gig this date, let's ask this guy, he's really good, he'll fit in our band well. Having good gear always helps. Yeah, we all dream of having the best, the most expensive things and all that kind of stuff. I think what people have said to me over the years, they've always said, I sound good, and I tune my drums well, they sound good, and they fit in well within the bands that I've played and kind of thing. And I do a lot of different types of drumming, with I do sit down kit drumming, I do stand up drumming and the grinners. And I do loud drumming, I do soft drumming, and having the right kit to support those different situations helps massively. And in one band I might play my really nice Ludwig kit. In another band I might have a very cheap little bass drum that's fine for the gridders, for example, because it just gets the
a lower note and does the job.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect. Aye. So do you think, you mentioned like gear and like skill you mentioned quite a bit. Do you think there's like a minimum requirement if you realize skills? So say like if you've got excellent people skills and excellent networking, do you think there's a kind of minimum requirement, or do you think you can really get by like with like a very minimal kind of skill level?
Yeah, I would absolutely say that. It helps if you're good with people. If you can communicate well, and that's always put me in good stead with people. I'm like to be honest and open where I can be, in terms of what I can do from a skill perspective, but also the time I can commit as well. For example, one thing I liked about your approach to setting up this interview was that you got in touch, asked if it was okay, explained the scenario, we arranged a date and time, brilliant. And then you got in touch yesterday just to double check everything's alright today, and that was really good. And that, it's just doing that kind of communication in advance really helps. If I was a touring drummer with a band, yes, I think a lot of my setup would be established in terms of you gigging here. You know, the bus is going to pick you up, or you want to chopper, whatever it may be. But if you're like maybe a session drummer or a working drummer who's playing for lots of different people all the time, you're the one who's in charge of, right, I need to earn this money, so I need to make sure I'm there and then, what logistics of getting there and back, who do I need to speak to find out times and all that kind of stuff. So I think a good level of communication is really key, and obviously the skill level has to come into that as well. You know, you can't be a poor player and expect the world.
Yeah. So you mentioned obviously skill and the playing and things like that. Do you think there's an aspect of business that has to go into it? Even a small time drummer like me and you, do you think there's an aspect of business that has to go into it? Yeah,
very much so. If you're in it for the money, if it's part of your salary, if you like, it's what you bring home every month, absolutely need a business head. If I, for example, if I had a part-time job earning, I don't know, 500 quid a month, but my mortgage was 400 quid, council tax is 100 quid, I need to eat, you know, that all seems tops up. So I think, right, I need an extra 500 to 1,000 quid a month to be able to have a good life, have a couple of holidays and stuff like that. So really, you need to know how much you're going to earn, when it's going to come in. You're going to be paid in cash, check, bank transfer, whatever it may be, because effectively you are running your own small business. Then you've got to think, right, well, I've got my gear, what if the snare drum explodes, you know, or what if that breaks? I'm going to need to replace that. Have I got a spare pot of cash? I need to pay the taxman something potentially. You know, where's all this money kind of coming from? So absolutely, a business head is very key as well.
Yeah, cool. That's really good. So, can you sum up, like, in 3 kind of statements, what you think employable drummers need?
Yeah. You don't play the drums. Yeah. Good skill level. You don't have to be the best, don't have to be the worst. If you can fit in musically appropriately, then that'll stand you in a great stead. Brilliant attitude, and just generally all-round good egg, good communicator.
Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. What do you think people look for directly in you, like when they think that they're saying, right, okay, I'm going to give Barnsley a call. I'm going to phone him. Why do you think you would get the call?
Okay, so if it was for a dep gig, for example, they know that I'll put the commitment in, the time to learn the songs. Attend rehearsals if necessary. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you go in there with some notes. Exactly. Sometimes you go there with notes and you got to listen to 24 songs in half an hour. They know that I'll play appropriately to the music as well. I'll not come there and bash the hell out of the drum kit. If it's a jazz gig, you know, for example, I'll play appropriately. They know I'm a nice lad as well. You know, if it's people that kind of know me well, that I'll make sure I'm there on time, set up in a timely manner, play the gig well, and just do the best I can, really.
Yeah, cool. That's pretty much hitting the nail on the head with what an employable drummer need, I think, anyway.
Great.
So would you say that that's obviously with going in and everything, would you say that makes you an employable drummer?
I would say yes.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he's reliable, he's good, he's canny. Nah, I'm not going. Right, so and that there's only two more. So do you think that taking your skills and even not even yours directly or someone in our pool, do you think we could pick them up out of our comfort zone and chuck them in? Obviously, scenarios are amplified, but at a basic level, do you think the skills that we have and drummers at our level, do you think we could just pick them up, drop them into a higher pool? Do you think they could survive?
Potentially. It depends what the gig was, but I agree. If I was a good drummer playing in a pub band, I was playing a time, solidly, playing well, then you could potentially say, right, if, I don't know, George Ezra, right, need a drummer, someone who can play these beats, not too complex, they're pop songs. Yeah, you could absolutely drop something in that environment. I don't see how the skills would necessarily change from playing like a 4/4 beat in a pub to a 4/4 beat at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Effectively, and the rest kind of goes with what we're talking about today. I think you definitely could.
Yeah, it's pretty amplified. Do you think that would work vice versa? You just take someone from the big time to say like a big touring drummer doing festivals and theatres like stadiums, and then you just pick them up and go poof, and they would function perfectly well in a 3-night-a-week club band.
Some could. Some might miss the lifestyle. If you took someone like, I don't know, but some people do, especially guys in the States, like Chad Smith, will absolutely go down to like his local pub and just play.
Yeah.
Some people just love it. They've made the money though already, so
it's not like they did it. It's got a few beers.
Exactly.
Right, cool. That's pretty much answered all the questions relating to industry. Now, this is a bit of a personal one. I've just been asking everyone for your own sake, really. So, do you think that drummers as a whole, I've been saying drummers as a breed, do you think we all have similar personalities?
No, I think we're all very different. Some are crazy, some are the opposite end. I think we've got certain traits which we definitely share. Sorry, I should have maybe put it in there. I think there's definitely some things we all share. I think one thing is the love of gear.
Yeah.
Most of the drummers I come across, like round here, generally like really nice people as well, like yourself and Phil Bell, Wes, Decker, Gaz Buck, like loads of guys. They're generally like really nice people and easy to get on with as well.
Yeah.
And I think what's nice is that we all kind of, if I come and see you play, I'll immediately want to come and look at your gear, for example, and I'll be watching what you're doing as well, just try and pick up tips and things like that and seeing how you do stuff. And I think similar traits. I mean, some people say that I'm quite sort of, obviously I've got the smiley thing going as well, but I think I see that in you as well massively. I think there are, if you're in sort of the small time, then if you're not too big for your boots, then I think there are very similar things here.
Yeah, awesome. It is funny, like a few people have mentioned like loving each other, we are very similar in a way, and like I really like that, like we all kind of, there's a real community, that's what people have been saying. Do you think that's appropriate, there's a community between work? Like there's always a case that you mention like these cool drummers, and it's funny because we've all mentioned each other. Like me, you, Wes, and Gary Buck and Decker have all mentioned the same names about each other. It's quite nice, I'm in that clique now. It's the age of 23. Right, great. That's everything. Thank you for your time.
So, my name's Adam Barnes. I've been here today to help research for his M-Level project.